So Brian back here with a quick Gala Games update. All right, we got this breakout of this down-sloping resistance here on the daily. All right, we're going to take a look here where this pullback is going to bring us. Right now, we're having the RSIs are getting a little bit high on this thing, so we're going to put a trend line on this right up through here. Okay, and we're going to take a look at these RSIs here, okay, and see where this pullback could be coming before we get this next bounce. All right, this thing is definitely in an uptrend now. I believe this bottom, if you didn't get Gala down at 0.018, I think you're not going to see those prices again, probably ever. I believe that's the bottom of this bear market for this thing. Finally finished this ABC correction down, and yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see those prices again. This thing was up at 80 some cents here during the bull run, so that's a heck of a deal. A penny and a half for a coin that went up. Let's see here, what was the all-time high? 86 cents. So penny and a half. That's a pretty good deal for a what is that? Holy cow. Penny at 40x, 50x just to get back to the all-time high. So I think that's quite the bargain out there. All right, here's the rest of the crypto market right now. This is for the weekly. You can see a lot of big gains out there this week. Getting a nice bounce here. Bitcoin, watch that 31,500 area. There's the hourly. You can see here we're just getting a pullback. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing to be concerned about, just RSIs are at the top here, so these things are due for a little bit of a pullback. If we go over to Bitcoin itself here, Bitcoin dominance is still just crazily rising up there. Look at this thing on the daily. I mean, this thing is just not slowing down, which is extremely odd. So with something like this happening and the altcoins not getting absolutely destroyed, this market is definitely doing something different right now. All right, okay, I've been saying the last couple weeks, I believe Bitcoin is coming into a retracement off the 2021 bull run here. All right, so Bitcoin itself, I marked that area right up there at 30,500. You can see we came up there and got rejected this first time off there. All right, this obviously in here. This is on the daily. All right, you can see 5 waves coming in on this thing. All right, would expect something like this out of this thing. All right, you had a 1, 2, 3. That's 702 Fibonacci is right about down here. So somewhere down here, maybe there, I believe is a 618, and then I believe this thing's going to bust up through that resistance and get firing up here. But if we put a fib on this thing, all right, you can see the 618 lines up right. Let me grab my pointer here real quick. If I could ask you to hit the like and subscribe button, I would appreciate that so very much, guys. Right here, the 618 lines up right perfectly with this support. And if you go back over to the left, you can see it was support here, resistance here. Perfect area for this thing to pull back and bounce. The actual breakout was down here at 27,328, so it could pull back here. That's the 702 Fibonacci. So the 618, there's 702. That's where we're watching for a bounce for Bitcoin. The main reason, if you look at this daily RSI on this thing, it's peaked out. You know, it's at a 98.09 and a 98.7. It just flipped bearish, so it has to cool down some before it can run up any higher. All right, so if we go over to Gala, let's open this up a little bit. This is on the daily. Like I said, we finally got the breakout of this down sloping resistance here on this thing. All right, it's holding a strong support line right here. If we end up putting a fib on this thing for the breakout level here, looking for a pullback area, okay, right to the top, you can see that 618 is right about, oh, I'm sorry, let me get it up perfectly here. There we go. That 618 is right at 0.024185. All right, watch for a bounce there from this thing. Not only you can see this line here ended up being a support zone for this thing. Support here, okay, this is on the daily chart, so watch for the pullback to there and then watch the bounce out of here, okay. This thing is doing nothing but pulling back to retest the breakout and then bouncing out of here. So I totally believe that's what Gala's doing right here. You can see the daily RSI is right at the top. It's at a 96.42 and a 96.42, so it's just on the verge of flipping bearish here. The smaller time frames, the 12 hours at the top, the 8 hour, the 8 hours just about in the middle there. You can see it wants to, it looks like it wants to turn up, but you can see it hugging this support line. You know, for each time frame, the support line's different, but you know, it would be somewhere through there. So right now it's still holding support, but watch for that pullback to the 0.024 area, right down around there. Okay, that's where this breakout occurred. Could be right about right there. Yeah, 0.024. That's what I'm calling for this pullback, and then I believe this thing's going to be bouncing out of here. Okay, we still have this weekly. Look at that weekly RSI at the bottom. Isn't that beautiful? That's where you want it, and that thing is pushing up. All right, it hasn't been down here since last December, so 7 months now. The beginning of December it was down there, and the time before that was back in October, and then the time before that was about a year ago. So not very often we get this weekly reset, but this thing is reset and ready to go. So keep your eyes on Gala Games, absolutely. After this pullback, watch for some big moves coming up out of this thing. Number one reason, you know, just to get a retrace out of Gala. Look at these numbers on this. Just for a retracement here for this thing. Usually the 618 to the 702 is a retracement area. The 618 is up at 44 cents. The 702 is at 53 cents. All right, so as Bitcoin runs up here, you know, expect something out of these lines to happen out of this thing. You know, you're going to get this thing, of course, is going to march up here. You know, as long as Bitcoin is going into its retracement here, you know, to hit this 618 or 702, and then we're going to have a pullback out of this thing for a while, okay, until next year's bull run starts. April, Bitcoin has its halving, and then next fall, you know, in fall of 2024, I expect this bull run to really start gaining some traction and taking off. So, all right, guys, thank you so very much. Please hit the like and subscribe, and I will talk to you very soon.